Hello everybody, Titanium Taco here, today going to review set 71775, Nia's Samurai X Mech. This set contains 1,003 pieces, a whopping total of 8 minifigures, and set retails for $119.99. First thing to look at here is the dragon. We do get a little dragon build of this in this set, a Vengestone dragon if you will. Crystallized Vengestone. The head itself uses the same head mold we've quite seen now already. I do like the use of the transparent pink and gunmetal gray. The mouth itself isn't really a mouth. It's kind of disappointing to be honest. Not really a mouth, whatever though. It's okay for what it is, its size. And the arms here, the fingers, don't like them. Design wise, don't like it. I'm just gonna say right now, overall design wise, I don't like this dragon. It is pretty small and just not that great. The arms, the back legs, it's okay. The proportions are very not proportioned, I guess. It's just not a very good design, I will admit. I feel like more could have gone into this dragon, and especially for the price per part ratio. More on that later though, but I definitely think this dragon could have been a little bit bigger than it is and just designed slightly better. And part of it too, some of these pieces on here are pretty flimsy, so it's not the best. It's just overall not the best. I will also say that it doesn't really have elbow articulation, so you can move the arms, heads, legs, sure, like typical stuff, but like just that extra elbow articulation would have been nice. One thing I will admit that I do like about this set is the fact that the dragon itself can stand kind of like a human being, I guess. It doesn't have to be like on all fours. It could stand on two if it wants to. Moving on to the mech though, starting off at the feet of the mech. And I will say the design of the mech is pretty good. One thing I will say though, why the color scheme? Why go from black to blue? It's just a questionable color scheme. It's just that. It's questionable. Why? Why the big contrast? Like, it just doesn't make sense. Why not all blue? Why not maybe red? I mean, you do have the big red X, but regardless of which, do like the utilization of these two pieces, the cockpit pieces in black. Really cool. They are meant to kind of hide all the Technic stuff. You also have the flaps, cool, whatever. The design, pretty nice. The legs themselves. Another thing I will admit, I do like the X itself. The head, not the biggest fan of the head. Absolutely do not like the head. I guess I'll just say this now as well. I'm not the biggest fan of this mech. The proportions of this mech aren't that great. Just looking at the head quickly though. Where's its eyes? You could barely see its eyes. This mech doesn't have eyes. The shape of the head also isn't that great. It also has a very thin neck, and the space between the neck and the front of the chest part of this mech is also too far. I think the proportions with this mech is not good. However, open it up, you have the cockpit area. Cool. Cockpit area. Nice. Not that bad looking. Kind of spacious a little bit. You do have stickers on both sides here, just panels for Nia and pictures for Nia to look at to kind of inspire her. Really nice. I will admit these stickers are kind of nice. And Nia herself does fit in pretty well, but she does not fit in if you do not put down the helmet piece a little bit. It will not close if you do. Absolutely hate that needs to even happen. I don't know why that needs to happen, but it happens. Moving on to the arms and the shoulder shooting pads. Do not like it. Again, it all comes down to proportions. I think they're just too big. Do not like the shoulder pads. The arms though, hands, designed pretty well. It's just the color scheme as well that kind of throws me off, that we go from blue to black. The color scheme is alright. The inclusion of fingers as well, not bad. I mean, we've seen mechs with fingers, but the fingertips, it has fingertips. Why does it have these fingertips? Like, where are the claws? Give us the claws instead. Like, that's the most common form of fingertips in a Lego mech, but we get it's weird. To me it's weird. It's a weird design choice. And the other side, it's the same thing, same build, just mirrored. Sometimes mechs do have a slightly different build from arm to arm, but not this one. And looking at it from the side, it's not too bad from the side, and the shoulder pads actually do look all right. It does utilize some stickers. The design of the arms again are pretty well, and the usage of stickers on this set is actually used pretty well. It does add just that level of detail that this set needs. It's not too bland overall. It's just good overall. It's great design. Great design. Just wish the proportions were more proportioned. And the other side is the same thing as well. This mech does include those 2 swords in that new blade piece. Really cool. It's just solid gold. Really nice that it includes. But one thing it doesn't include is a place to hold those blades. Quite unfortunate, really. One thing that matters as well when it comes to mechs is the way the back of it looks like, and I will admit that the back of the mech doesn't look that bad at all. As you can see, here is the build for those knee joints, which are also pretty good. We'll get more on that a bit later, but yeah, the design of the mech from the back isn't that bad. In fact, it looks pretty alright, and that's actually really important when it comes to mechs, because the design from the back is just as important as the design in the front. And again, here is just a look at that very tiny thin neck this thing has. Not good at all. Now, to show off the articulation of this mech, the mech has pretty good articulation. Of course, you gotta have those ankle joints, always have the ankle joints, and it does have some stoppers. The knee joints, the knees, this mech has knees, everybody. That is just banging. I do feel like though that the knees played into the proportions of this. And of course, you got these little flaps that kind of hide some details. There is no waist articulation though, but okay, whatever. The arm and shoulder pads, shoulder shooters have articulation. Pretty good range of motion, I will admit. In the wrist, in the elbows, I guess, in the arm. Good articulation there. On both arms, really. It's just good. Always good, nice to have articulation in mechs, because that's important. That's like key. And of course, the head articulation, because it's on such a small ball joint, it's pretty good. There's not really much to say about that one. It's just good. Good range of motion, 360 stuff, you know, that kind of stuff. And then one thing I do want to point out is because with all of this ability to articulate, the mech itself has a lot of good poses. You could really pose this mech in a lot of different ways that you want. Again, it's just able to be posed really well. These are just a couple of poses that I was able to come up with. Of course, you guys, if you have this, it could also come up with your own poses, but that's just a really cool thing that knees are able to add to mechs like this. It just gives them a level of posability that oftentimes you just wouldn't get. Of course, moving on to the figures, we are going to start off with the one Vengestone Warrior that you get this in this set. Now, probably could have included one more Vengestone Warrior, in my opinion, but it is what it is, right? Regardless of which, here it is. We've seen this figure a bajillion times at this point. Fantastic figure, fantastic mold, fantastic printing. I just said fantastic too many times. It's just fantastic. All around, these figures are amazing. Much prefer though the ones that have the 2 transparent dark pink arms. Moving on to the generals, we have first the mechanic. What is wrong with this figure? I'll tell you what, his arm. His arm, Lego, you have the robotic arm. You have that in your arsenal. Why not use it? Why not give the mechanic the robotic arm he deserves? That would have been just a little bit of extra effort put into this general that would have differentiated him from the rest of them. But no, Lego decided not to. Whatever. Fine. We have seen these figures though. Love the figure regardless because of the armor. Cool. It's great. Whatever. Accessory wise, I will say though, however, as well, I do like his face print. His face print is pretty nice, and you know, the whole transparent, or not transparent, but the whole dark pink aesthetic in his eye, like it just fits with the theme and everything. It's a good face print. Pretty much the same one we got in the Legacy City Guardians set, but you know, with the added crystallized version of it. And then we get Pythor P. Chumsworth, one of my favorite Serpentine out there. And I gotta say, I absolutely love this figure. Why? Because this is probably the most, how would I say it? Most exclusive kind of figure. The most non-generic general, if you will, because he actually has a serpent body. Now, Asphira, of course, has her ghost tail. Bad. That's bad. Give her the serpent body. Add an existing piece to this figure and a print over it. It just looks fantastic. It's great. This figure's great. Nunchucks, though, crystallized nunchucks, terrible. Get those out of here. Do not want to see them. Absolutely not. I will say, though, it is the same print, torso print, so you're not really changing much there. And, yeah. Overall, good figure. I will say, though, to this day, I still absolutely hate the open mouth Pythor. God, do I wish we got a closed mouth. I just don't know why Lego did this to us. But we have to live with it. It's fine. It's whatever. I love the detailing on this figure, though. It's great. The design-wise, it's good. Just the open mouth. And then the printing on his head is also great. It's fantastic. It's just why? It's the open mouth. Why? And a figure that I didn't think we would actually get in this set, Lil Nelson. Interesting. He does come with a flag, a resistance flag. Cool. Sure. Love the color scheme, buddy. Love the hood piece. Love the hood piece with the hat. Love the whole detailing. I love the design of it. Color scheme, again, is really well. He does have 2 blades. Actually, man, don't give this kid swords. He's just a kid, right? But he has the swords. Don't mess with Lil Nelson, or else you'll get the swords. Good figure overall, though. I will say, I actually do like the design of this. I will admit, though, once everything is taken off, not the biggest fan of his front face printing. The back one's okay. The torso print is also pretty good. It's the face printing on the front, though, with the mask, I'm just not the biggest fan of. But the face printing in the back, pretty good. Probably just give him a less smiley smile, though, and that would have made this figure 10 times better. Moving on to Nia, though. My God, do I absolutely love this figure. This figure is fantastic. Absolutely love this gosh darn figure. Design wise, great. Color scheme wise, great. The gold in proportion to every other color in this suit, fan-freaking-tastic. This figure is just, to me personally, for me, this figure, solid 10 out of 10. I absolutely adore this figure. And with everything removed, sure, it is the same head that we've been getting since the movie, but the printing on the torso and the legs is great. It's just a cool design. Absolutely love this figure. God, give me more of these, please. It's a great figure. With Jay, we did see this Jay in the previous set. Same thing still applies. The gold to blue ratio, not that great. Design wise, though, is pretty great. Again, I love the armor to one side more. It's good, just cool little designs. Everything taken off. Printing wise, great. Front, back, same head, whatever. Good figure. Woo. Woo's a pretty cool figure as well. I like that we get the dragon armor back. He has his staff. He has the gold hat. He has a resistance flag as well. Solid figure. Cool design. Almost cool design. We'll get to it in a bit. But yeah, dragon armor. Still the same old design. It's the same old head Woo design as well that we got with Secrets of the Forbidden Spinjitzu. Absolutely like this figure. Like this. Maybe it would have been cool if we could see the beard like overlay on the dragon armor. That would have been sick. But, you know, it is what it is, right? I think the dragon armor is an okay piece. But actually looking at the torso under it, I'm actually not the biggest fan of it. It is good. I'll give it that. I do like it. But I don't like it that much. I think it's just not, I don't know, something about it. I don't like the design of it. I don't know what it is about it, but there's just something I don't like. Maybe it's the gray or something, I don't know. But printing wise, great. Design wise could have been tweaked a little bit. But now we have the final figure and the best figure of the set. Garmadon himself, or Oni Garmadon. And my God, do I absolutely adore this figure. We'll start off with right off the bat though. Do not like the helmet piece for Garmadon. Why? Because it's not in black. Literally the gunmetal gray throws everything off about this figure. But that's an easy fix. Easy fix that right away when you get this figure. Other than that though, I absolutely love this figure. I guess another thing I did mention in the last video is that I don't like that he has a very grinning face. Where's that angry Garmadon that's under this mask? Because we get such an angry Garmadon under the mask and the very grinning Garmadon out on the mask. So don't like that. But again, okay, I'm saying things that I don't like, but I still absolutely adore this figure in terms of the design of the torso, both front and back. He does have that armor because, you know, you can't get rid of his armor when he has the 4 arms. So you also got to include that here when he just has the 2 arms. Love the purple hands. Love the purple belt. I just love Garmadon. Garmadon is a character I also just love. And when you take everything off, like I said, here he is, his very angry face, but he doesn't have an angry face on the Oni mask. Whatever. Torso printing on front and back, phenomenal. I just absolutely love this figure. It's a great figure. You could even just take off the Oni mask, add his helmet just to make it a bit show accurate, and maybe add some extra arms. You could add the one from Sons of Garmadon. That would make him look cooler, I guess, as well. Fantastic. I just love the figure. But of course, following a very fantastic figure is a pretty bland instructions booklet. We also do get a good number of spare parts in this set. A good number of stickers was used in this set as well, but I feel like every sticker did add a level of detail to the set itself. But what do I think overall? For $119.99, 1,003 pieces isn't the worst, but I would have definitely utilized 200 more pieces in the dragon. I think the dragon is probably the weakest thing of the entire set and definitely could have used more pieces. So if we're going price per part ratio, this set would be around 1,200 pieces theoretically if it's worth 120. So definitely, if you would have added those 200 extra pieces, pour it all into the dragon. In fact, maybe take some out of the mech and pour that into the dragon, because like I said, the proportions of the mech are weird. You got some pretty big legs, a pretty thin torso shape, pretty small, with a big X on it that covers pretty much the whole torso. Kind of skinny arms and these big shoulder pads and a bad looking head. The proportions to me just don't fit right. The color scheme just doesn't work. The X in the front is too big. The head, don't like the design of the head. It's just, especially like when you start looking at the show, if you like put the 2 side by side, obviously don't do this, but if you are one person like me, if you start doing that, then you start like really nitpicking with the set. Of course, the set and the show shouldn't really matter, but that's just me personally. So that's where I find it a bit underwhelming personally. Other than that though, figure selection wise is great. I absolutely love the figures in this set because a lot of these, in fact pretty much all of these except for 2, are exclusive minifigures. So that's really one of the things that this set has going for it, is that most of these minifigures are going to be exclusive. So if for anything you want to get the figures and a pretty decent looking mech, definitely recommend getting this set for, I guess, a $120 isn't that bad, but still could probably just get it for $100, which would be the optimum, price for it. And with all that said, guys, what do you guys think of this mech? Do you like it? Do you not like it? The dragon, do you like it? Do you not like it? The figures, do you like it? Do you like it not? Leave a comment down below. And subscribe. And like and share this video with a friend. And that concludes all the reviews for the crystallized sets. I will now see you guys all in the reactions.